Welcome back to Finding Myself Through Obesity. I'm so glad you guys came back for another episode. Today, I wanted to talk about a few things. I realized that I've only put out like 4 episodes since I've moved out of St. George, and I've been here almost a year. I can't even believe it. But I think the reason why I've only put out a couple of episodes is because things are way different than I thought they would be. So I actually listened back to some of the episodes of when I moved, or right before I moved, to just get a sense of why, what was my reasoning, what was I feeling, and I was really excited to come out here and build a better relationship with my husband. And that was the biggest thing, was to break financial ties from my dad and to really stand on my own and be one with my husband. And I have to say that I have depended on my husband so much. Like, he has held up so much of our life. And so I think I figured, it's going to be great. My husband's going to be so happy because now I am not tied to my dad and I'm one with him and he's going to be so great. And it just put a lot of pressure on him. And so I depend on him so much. As I was listening to that episode of, how I felt and the excitement that I had for my husband and I and our relationship to be so amazing. I guess what I don't want to do is become a victim, because he has literally given up his whole life to take care of me and our kids. And this move has been really hard for him. And so I'm just realizing that it wasn't what I expected it to be. I wanted to come out here and just think it's going to be all great because my husband always picks up the slack and people always take care of me. And maybe that is what I'm supposed to learn out here, feeling this loneliness, is how can I take care of me? How can I stop being like a child emotionally and stand up and take responsibility for my life and make it what I want it to be, instead of waiting for people to bring it to me. Anyway, that's just came to me, and so I wanted to share that. But yeah, my husband, it's been hard for him. And so what happened, though, that I didn't expect is that when we moved out here, now our family's living in a trailer. Now we don't have a home. And my husband has actually gotten way worse since we've moved. He is not doing well. He's got a lot of things that he is working on, but it's actually made him feel worse. So he used to hate it because we lived in my dad's house. Now he is really struggling because his family lives in a trailer and he feels like a failure as a father and as a husband. And so he's really struggled with a lot of mental health issues, and he is turning to drinking a lot. I'm realizing that it's way different than I thought it would be. But I also continue to go back to what I felt when I was in that meditation, that this is the next step, even though it's hard. Last week I was doing a free course with Kathy Heller, and she is amazing. She's so inspirational, and she would guide us through these beautiful meditations. She guided us through this one where we were with our 7-year-old self. So you, as a 7-year-old, you're sitting next to her. You can see what she looks like. You can feel, what she's feeling, and you have a conversation with her. And so she had us go and sit with our 7-year-old self. And she said, I want you to show her what her life is going to be like and walk her through her life. And I just got all panicked and I just started crying. And because what I felt when I was sitting with my 7-year-old self is a lot of fear. Like, she is scared of making mistakes. She's scared of not being loved. She's scared all the time. And what she tells me is, don't forget to love me. Like, she's so scared. And what it brought up for me is that the life I'm living right now would be a nightmare for my little girl. To see me in this big body that I just am not living the life that I want to live. I'm living in a trailer, which is not really a big deal, but my husband's drinking all the time. Like, I'm not living the life that I wanted to live at all. this would literally be a nightmare. And it really triggered me because I felt like that girl is so scared. She's so full of fear of like, what if she knew how hard this life would be? And like, I just felt so bad that I've created this life that would be a nightmare for that little girl that was so innocent. But then I think this isn't the end. And I would be happy to have gone through all of this if I can learn what I need to learn and I can improve and I can get unstuck from this place that I'm at and go somewhere better, you know? Picturing me actually building that home and having my family there and getting healthy and living the life that I know I'm meant to live, then all of this would be worth it. So that was kind of interesting. And then this week I just started a book club. So this book is called A Course in Weight Loss, and it's by Marianne Williamson. And I started listening to it and felt like I should start a book group. So if any of you want to do that, you can look in the link in my bio and join that, because going along with that, like the little girl that's been so scared her whole life, scared of pain, scared of getting hurt, everything, it is interesting how it connects exactly with what I was saying. I've always been so scared. And what she says is that fear is the reason that I'm not able to lose the weight. So this book is basically a lesson plan. So there's 21 lessons in aligning your thinking with spiritual lessons that will set you free. So there's 4 principles that she shared that I wanted to share with you. And she said the principles aren't difficult, but they're different than the way that you and I think today. And I am willing to try anything because I do have a lot of fear. And so she says, number 1 principle is your body itself is completely neutral. It causes nothing. It is completely an effect and not a cause. And then principle number 2, neither poor diet nor lack of exercise are the cause of your excess weight. Mind is your cause, body is your effect. The cause of your excess weight is in your mind. Interesting. And the 3rd principle, the cause of your excess weight is fear, which is the place in your mind where love is blocked. And number 4 principle is fear expresses itself as subconscious urges, which then expresses itself by either unhealthy eating habits and or resistance to proper exercise. The ultimate effect of this, which is excess weight, can only be permanently healed when fear itself is rooted out. So the purpose of this course is to root out your fear and replace it with love. And I thought that was beautiful. So I just started that yesterday, and she talks about picturing our weight being like a block wall. And each of these bricks have something, some kind of a story, some kind of a fear, a feeling that is blocking you being able to feel love. And so, wow, I am really excited to see what I learn. I'm really, really been struggling. I cried more than I've cried in a long time, just the last couple of days. Mother's Day was really hard for me, but I don't want to give up. I don't want to give up on the little girl inside of me that dreamt of more, that was so scared. I want to comfort her. I want her to know she's safe. And that was really powerful, even though it wasn't something I wanted to feel. I was like, I have to change this story. I have to change the ending of this story. And so I know my husband and I are both, in a place where we are hurting and we are scared. My husband turns to alcohol. I turn to food, and it is so much the same pattern of thinking. So he and I are in a place where we understand each other a lot more too. And I really am so grateful for him. I know that this has been so hard for him. And I feel guilty a lot of times because this was my doing. I'm the one that told my dad I'm moving out. I'm the one that said we should move out to our property. Like, this was my idea. And so I feel guilty, like, oh gosh, if I would have just asked my dad if we could stay there. I don't know, but I know I can't go there because I know this was meant to be. I have to be in the present moment. Another thing that I wanted to share before I let you go is that I've had a lot of time just sitting here and thinking, and I appreciate being able to meditate and connect with myself. And I am grateful for this time that I have to just be with me, even though I feel really lonely. I know that I'm going to learn how to be one of my best friends. I know that's what I will learn. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. I love you all so much. And I am trying to have the courage to keep showing up for me, and showing you that it's possible for you to show up for you too. Join the book club. It's free. And we're just going to get to know each other and support each other through learning about what we're scared of and seeing what we can do to replace that fear with love. Thank you again, you guys. Have a great day.